Welcome back to another episode of TNT, the Twisted New Testament. Tonight we're going to be discussing the Paleo Hebrew, technically versus the Masoretic text, but realistically it's more like, does the Paleo Hebrew really, is it even valid? So we're going to go with that. So sit tight. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome to Tanakh Talk. I'm your host, William Hall, broadcasting live out of Kingsland, Texas, USA, with another episode, not just another episode, the 100th episode. Yes, 100 it is, of TNT, the Twisted New Testament, with Rabbi Stuart, the man Federow, from the Big H, Houston, Texas. Welcome back. Rabbi, it's a pleasure to see you as usual.
It's good to be here.
It's good to have you here, for sure. Man, I tell you what, this is going to be an interesting topic, and a big shout out, for sure, for the choice of topic, for I don't know what the hell I just said. Tanakh, the topic.
The Tanakh.
The Tanakh. The Tanakh. That's just crazy. So Cindy is one of the Cindy Sue. I forget the last name. Yeah, Cindy Sue and Lamar. But anyway, she had messaged me today with this topic, and it's really cool. It's going to be fun talking about it. So at some point,
it won't.
No, it's not going to be fun. Why?
No, this is not going to be fun.
Well,
you have no idea how this. Look, I fancy myself an amateur linguist.
That's okay.
Okay, I fancy myself, always interested in words and language and how it works. Okay, as a system of communication. Okay,
fair enough, right?
I can't begin to tell you how this makes me so angry because it is so stupid.
Thank you.
And there's no other way I can put this. Okay, I apologize for my emotionality and passion on this, but it is so stupid that it's beyond description on how stupid this is, which I hope to at least give a hint at that may be on, I'm sure more scholarly people can do a better job than I can. I'm sure that people who are invested, and that's the word, by the way, is invested.
Can I tell you?
They need this to be true, are going to argue with me, but it's so upsetting to me.
So there's this guy on YouTube, which is what this triggered from. He pushes himself out to be a Hebrew scholar, and he basically said, I couldn't get past the first couple minutes without really just wanting to just turn it off. It was that annoying. First of all, I mean, he's pushing the idea like that. I have to remember to keep this our information that you and I share, and the link.
By the way, can I interrupt you? I'm trying to get up the Tanakh Talk on YouTube, and I can't. Wait, it's not.
I haven't even tried, so let me make sure. It looks like we got 17 on Facebook watching. Let me see what we got here real fast. Where is my? There's a new tab. Yeah, I'll try to do the same thing. Make sure we're actually good live. I think we are, because usually I don't have an issue on that regard. So
I keep renewing my page for YouTube Tanakh Talk,
okay.
And it just comes up with the same.
It's okay.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
I totally get you. So I'm going to go to my channel and see if it's coming up on live. It should be live there. So let's see. Where's my live streaming at? Creator Studio. There it is. So yeah, it's been really. I'm really tempted, actually, to pull this video up just to show you a clip of it. But interestingly enough, this guy he's using, again, what I have to be careful with, and you too, we need to be careful with making sure that what we say doesn't leave half of the viewers like wondering what we just said. Like, for example, what I was going to say was this guy used Genesis 1:1, and in Hebrew, it's Bereshit bara. And those two words, the very first two words in the Hebrew Bible. And he uses the Beit Resh Aleph, bara, in creation. And he basically tells you what each letter is, the Bet, the Resh, and the Aleph in the Paleo drawing of the Hebrew, right? And I forgot to pull that up. I told you I was going to do that, and I forgot. Let me get an add media file. I'm going to pull that up for you right now. Hang on one second. Desktop. Give me 1 second here. YouTube thumbnail edit. There it is right there. And correct here. Okay, so let me see if I can zoom in now so we can all see exactly what I'm talking about. So here's this. Let me scale the image up higher. Okay, so the Bet Resh Aleph are the first three letters in the Hebrew Bible, right? And so the Aleph, he's saying, or the Bet Resh Aleph. So the Bet would be, and see, what's really weird is the drawings don't even match what he was doing. So I'm not really sure what form of Paleo he even had. Oh, here we go. Ancient Hebrew, not Paleo. The ancient Hebrew. Well, see,
but this is it's
that doesn't match either, though.
Well, of course not.
Well, let me finish my thought, and then I'm going to pass it to you, and you go with this. But basically, one thing he said was like the Beit would be house, which makes sense, right? But then he said the Reish, what were a Rosh Reish. He tried to say it was like the head, but he was interpolating the Reish to be not just a head, but also the head. But he said the head was the son. And I'm thinking, wait, the head of a household is not the son, it's the father.
Right.
But this guy was going off on this thing, saying, see right there, it says the son, the strength of the household is the son. And I'm like, where's he getting this stuff from? Go ahead.
You just gave the epitome of what they are doing, how they are doing it, and why it is so stupid. Okay? Okay. Would you mind, even before we get there?
Sure.
Okay. They're trying to make it look like Jesus. They want their Jesus to be in the first two words, right?
Right.
So they're going to ignore the meaning that they themselves put on it, and they're going to use the word son somewhere in there to make it the son of the Father who is God, so it's Jesus.
Right.
Okay?
Sure.
They ignore the I don't even know how to describe it. They ignore what they themselves claim each letter means.
Right.
And they make sure to come up with a conclusion that fits with their already existing theology.
Right. True.
Okay. And the best way I can explain this, and you're such a young kid that I don't know you'll even know what I'm talking about. But when John F. Kennedy was murdered, okay, there were a lot of not essays, I don't even know what to call it, like a column, a graph or what, I don't know what to call it, which was trying to show how similar John F. Kennedy was to Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, right.
So they had John F. Kennedy was shot. John Wilkes Booth shot Lincoln in a theater and ran to a library.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Okay, and what's his name shot Kennedy from a library and ran to a theater.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I totally remember that for
sure. And there's a whole laundry list of those kinds of similarities.
Right.
But in order to get 15 or 20 similarities, okay, they had to take a look at 100,000 different facts, and then of the very few that would sound enough similar that they could put it in their list.
Right.
Okay, which is ignoring what you don't want for the sake of what you do want.
See, that's kind of how I was telling our friend Cindy Lou. I mean, anybody can interpolate anything out of anything. Like, for example, you can take our English words, hat, for example, H-A-T, right? If it's on your head. Well, if you take H-A-T and put an H-E-A-T, heat, you can say that heat is also directly associated with the head, because when people wear a hat, it makes their head hot. You could also
that's
say,
what they do.
And the same thing, you can rearrange those letters and say H-A-T-E. Hate comes and is directly associated with your head, which is not, but they can use that. Anybody can do that. Anybody can create anything if they're creative.
Absolutely.
Right.
And there is no limitation to human creativity.
Right. So just because just because somebody can make it look associated doesn't mean it's associated.
Right. And this is how we create superstitions.
Okay,
What is
right.
a superstition? A superstition is saying that there's a relationship between two things where there is no relationship.
Right. Oh, right.
So
Good
if
point.
I walk under a ladder, it's bad luck. They're associating walking under the ladder with bad luck. But
Right.
plenty of people can walk under a ladder and have no change in their luck.
Right.
But the one time one person walks under a ladder and has a problem, whatever it happens to be, oh, it's because I walked under the ladder. It proves the superstition.
Right.
Okay. Or a black cat crosses your path. Okay. A superstition is creating a relationship where no relationship exists, a cause and effect. Okay, you know the old joke? This guy sees somebody who's doing this. I don't know if you can see that on the
Yeah,
screen.
right.
And the guy comes up and says, "What are you doing?" And he says, "I'm keeping the elephants away." He says, "That's ridiculous." And the guy says, "What are you talking about? Have you seen any elephants? It obviously works."
Nicely done. Nice. Very good. Yeah.
That's what they're doing
Excellent.
with the whole Paleo Hebrew stuff.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
and let's talk about letters for a minute. Can you put up the
Yes.
okay, and what you want to do, okay, is you don't need the right side, you need the left side.
Okay, let me recenter this here.
Okay, and I really am going to wait until this comes up.
So you said you want me to reveal the left side?
Yeah, the left. Okay, no, wait. Stay right where you are. Don't move.
Now remember, you got 20-second lag, so
No, I know.
You don't know what I just did.
Okay, but you'll see that this is you got the modern Jewish Hebrew transliteration, okay, which in and of itself is a misnomer. Okay, that's fine. Okay, whatever you're doing, don't move.
Okay.
Okay, so now I've got the whole page
Yes.
in front of me, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Now I can
So-
zoom into a certain spot if you want.
Okay, go to the right side at the top where it says name of letter, and then you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns underneath name of letter.
Okay, 1 second. Let's see.
All right.
Hold on 1 second. So right side, name of letter. Oh, yeah, got it. Okay, here we go. All right, so I just did it. So about 10 to 15 seconds, you'll see it.
That's fine, but I really am going to wait because I need to.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That's good.
I need to see what they see while I'm talking about it. Okay.
So I said I could
All
actually
right.
put my cursor on there, but I don't think I can
Okay.
because it's an image.
So first of all, they're saying that the Hebrew column. This is the second full column, but the third column that you can see on the page. It says Hebrew transliteration. Okay. A transliteration is writing in one language. The sound, have you ever heard the word alliteration?
I don't think so.
You don't know what an alliteration is?
No.
Let me explain.
Okay.
In, for example, poetry, the big blue basket, beyond compare. Well, the b sound, using the same sound, that's important, the same
Right.
sound, okay, is repeated. So the b of big, blue, and basket, okay, alliteration is using words that have the same letter, usually the first letter, and you'll see this in music and writing, okay? You'll see
Right.
this in poetry, you see this in lyrics, okay? So transliteration is going from one symbol of a sound in one language to another language's symbol for the same sound.
Okay.
Follow what I said?
Yep.
Okay. So they're talking like like the letter Aleph is a transliteration, okay, of the sound of the ah.
Right.
Okay. That's not what a transliteration is.
Okay.
Okay, transliteration is taking the word shalom, shin lamed vav mem sofit, okay, and transliterating it as shalom.
Okay.
So I see the sh of English, I see the a of ah of English, I see the l of the l sound of l of English, I see the o as an o sound in English, and I see the m of the m in English, and by saying shalom by reading Shalom, I am pronouncing a Hebrew word, Shin Lamed Vav Mem Sophie.
Gotcha.
Okay. Oh, it's going to take me 30 minutes to get 2 second. Yeah, okay. All right. So calling this a transliteration is like saying that this letter symbol is okay, can you move to the left?
Yes.
I'm only using Aleph as an example. Okay.
Wait for it.
Okay.
You see it yet?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, good.
Okay. And now and good. So you got the right column too as well as the left. Okay. They are saying that the pronunciation of the ox head, okay, that means strong power and leader, has an ah sound.
Okay.
Okay. Do you know, let's, God, let's talk a little bit of the difference between a hieroglyphic, okay, and a consonant.
Okay.
A consonant is a symbol of sound. A hieroglyphic is a symbol of an idea.
Okay.
All right. They are making the claim that an ox head is a hieroglyph of the word strong, power, or leader. Okay?
Okay.
They're trying to turn into a hieroglyph the modern Jewish Hebrew, what they call transliteration. But the transliteration is a symbol of sound, not a symbol of, I have no idea what just happened. It flipped itself. I have no idea what I did.
You didn't do anything. It's
okay. Well, stop that. Okay. So they're trying to say that the consonant of an aleph, and by the way, it's a consonant, not a vowel. Okay. The consonant of an aleph, they're trying to treat as if it is a hieroglyph. So by seeing the aleph, they're saying, oh, don't read it as ah, understand it as a symbol, a hieroglyph, a symbol of a concept which is strong power or leader. You can't do that. It doesn't, things don't work that way. Okay, it's, what was your example of Bara? Okay, where a bet means house.
Yeah, right.
Okay, and the
resh would be rosh, which is what
right,
saying,
rosh
right?
Or head or whatever,
right.
Which you find at the bottom of this thing. You can't read it here.
Right.
And then the aleph at the end is the son is the strong leader of the house,
right?
Which is nonsense because he's a kid and it needs to be the father of the house, the man of the house, the owner of the house,
right?
The lord of the house. Okay.
Right.
So what they're doing with that is they're trying to take Bara, treat them as if they are hieroglyphs, when in fact they are consonants. Instead of seeing them as a symbol of sound, to collect with other symbols of sound to make a word, and the word therefore has a concept to it, they are trying to treat each consonant as if it's a hieroglyph, and in language that is just, there's no word for it other than stupid.
Right.
Okay, now let me show you something else real quick.
Okay.
Just to show you how quickly this whole Paleo Hebrew can be debunked. I don't know how well this is going to work, but put the list up again.
Okay.
And if you don't mind, remove the thingy at the bottom so all you see is the page.
Oh, so you don't want your
No, I don't. Not for this.
Okay, got it.
It's nice of you to put it up, but
gotcha.
Okay.
Okay, there you go.
All right. And
you want a full page or partial?
I'd rather have a full page.
Okay.
But I need you to point to things. Okay.
So that could be an issue, but we'll try. Why is this not scaling down? Oh, I know why. I'm selecting on the wrong image. Hang on 1 second. Scale. Oh, there it goes. Okay, got it. Scale.
Okay.
Okay, there it goes. Okay, so now we got the full page up. I can't point to it because I don't have that.
I'm still waiting for it.
Yeah, it's okay. Let me see. Yeah, I can't point to it because I'm actually not doing a screen capture. It's actually imported image into.
No, that's fine. What you have now should work.
Okay, good.
Okay. All right. And it's pretty readable, I think, if you get really close. Okay.
Right.
So the on the right of it says name of letter. Okay, and it's letters combined, it gives you a meaning, right? That really isn't relevant to our conversation. You can look at it, but what's relevant is what you have on the left. Okay, ancient Hebrew picture letter, picture description, meaning of letter, best English transliteration, English transcription, the sound, and the modern Jewish Hebrew transliteration. Somehow I don't think I explained that well about colon transliteration, but beyond that, we're beyond that already. Okay.
Right. Gotcha.
So let's take some words that we really, that we already know what they mean.
Okay.
So you remember what you did with Bara and how, since they wanted to point to Jesus, the son of their father, the Lord, whatever.
Right.
Okay. All right. Keep that in mind.
Okay.
So here's how easily that's done. The bet, which is number 2.
I think I just figured out how to actually get this on screen where I can actually use the cursor. Hang on.
All right.
Give me 1 second.
Well, this will work because I'll point out the number and then
actually I've got you now. So now, wait, let me do one more thing. Hold that thought just for a second.
Okay.
I should need to go to show cursor. Got it. Okay, now they can see my movement. Okay, so what do you want me to point at?
Okay. So I want you to point out the second line. Okay. The fact that it's a bet.
Okay.
Okay. It says family, house, or inn.
Got it.
Right?
Right here.
Now I want you to go down to the nun.
Okay.
Okay. Which is line number 14.
Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah. Wait. Okay. So right here. Got it. Okay. It says continue heir son.
Right.
Right.
Okay. So it's family, house, or inn, and continue heir son. So they're going to say Ben, okay, is son of the house,
right,
or son of the family, or heir of the family.
Right.
Okay. Well, how do we know it's not the house continues? Oh, wait, the son inherits the house, so it continues. Doesn't that sound logical?
Right.
Right. Okay. But let's take a look at the nun and its meaning. Continue, heir, or son.
Okay.
Okay. Better still, let's just go to number 2. House, family, inn.
Okay.
Okay?
Got it.
I'm trying to figure out how I can best explain what I'm trying to say. Okay.
So you could scramble the meaning of each letter and pretty much create your own description.
Right. And you use the description that fits what you already want it to say. Like Bara is house, son, strength.
Right.
Okay. Well, what if you did, and you got you got them all here, right? Yes, you do. It's all visible. So family, house, inn. Okay, then go down to the first top or beginning, the Resh, which is number 20.
Okay.
Okay, and then the Aleph, strong power, leader.
Okay.
How do we know that this isn't saying that the top of the house is the strongest?
I was thinking the same. That's exactly what I was looking at too.
Okay.
Top.
House top strong.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. You can scramble it to make whatever you want, like hat, heat, hate.
But you're gonna do what they did with Kennedy and Lincoln. They're gonna disregard thousands of things that were not similar and keep the very few that were similar because that's what they're trying to create. I'll give you another one. Okay. How about the word for olive? Little green or black thing we eat.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, William, I want you to know all of you. Okay.
Oh, wait.
Right.
Do you love all of me or just part of me?
No.
Okay.
Ooh, even better. Okay. Good. All right. So, Zayit. Go to the Zion, which is 7.
Okay.
Food, cut, weapon, or nourish.
Okay.
wait a minute. Food, you have to cut the food. Food is nourishing. How can it mean weapon?
Because
Where did that come
you
from?
cut with the weapon. I mean, you can use a weapon to cut things.
Except a weapon is something you attack people with.
Or you could cut an apple tree down.
But usually you don't call what you use to cut an apple tree down a weapon. You usually call a sword.
Tool.
You can use a sword, but that's not the concept.
Right.
What I'm trying to show is that the concepts are not similar one to the other.
Okay.
One's like, what's the song? Which of these is not like the other? Something like that. Okay. Sesame Street. All right, forget it. All right. The point is that why all of a sudden weapon is the same thing as nourish?
Okay.
It makes no sense.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And by the way, where is the original list of these? How do they know that this is what it means? Or did somebody along have a word with a Zion in it where they needed it to mean weapon, and so they put in this thing weapon?
Hey,
I don't know.
To be fair,
weapon. Maybe there's a way of showing this if you were taking a look at these first column.
Rabbi.
What?
To be fair,
just went by. I have no idea what it's.
That's okay. To be fair, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but can you put it back up?
In just a second. So, nourishing weapon, right? Did you know this is not a joke? I thought this was kind of weird. That the same company that makes baby food also makes pocket knives. Gerber. So,
Gerber makes pocket knives.
Gerber makes like these multi-tools that has knives.
Somehow I don't think that has anything to do with.
I know, but it was a neat thing.
Paleo Hebrew. By the way,
yes.
What they do with Paleo Hebrew, I'd love to see if they do with Paleo English.
Oh, interesting. Oh, yeah, right.
And if they want to say things like, which we'll get to, say the word Torah to me later, or I will forget.
Okay.
Okay. Can you please bring it back up?
Yes. Sorry.
I hope we get to it, but while we're waiting, we pronounce the word as Torah. In their list, which you will see here, they only say it's an oo sound, not an o sound.
Oh, right.
Okay, so they don't pronounce it a Torah; they pronounce it a Torah. Okay, there's no o sound,
right.
according to them, in the or maybe they say the ion is. Yeah, they say the ion is a o sound. Okay, but. If they're taking their Paleo Hebrew, using that part of the expression as the gospel, starting to pronounce modern words the way they think they were pronounced based on this Paleo Hebrew stuff, I want to know why they aren't speaking Shakespearean English.
Right.
In other words, if they're willing to do it with Hebrew, and the reason why is very interesting, but if they're willing to do it with the Paleo Hebrew to the modern Hebrew and tell us that we've got the wrong pronunciation because we have to go back to the original, okay, then why aren't they also doing that with English? They should start speaking, how are thee this day? Why aren't they doing that with English? And the reason is because they're just trying to show their superiority to Judaism. They're just trying to displace Judaism and the rabbis and say, we know better than you do.
Right.
And it's just ridiculous. All right, so let's take the word zayit.
Okay.
Zayit means olive. And you pulled it down again. Okay.
So to keep it simple, we'll just refer to line numbers.
Absolutely.
One through
We're referring to line numbers. Okay, so let's take a look at Zion, food, cut, weapon, or nourish.
Which would be line number 7.
Yeah, line 7. Food, cut, weapon, or nourish. And again, weapon, it has nothing to do with conceptually with food, cut, or nourish. You use a weapon, you don't need to nourish anybody. So it's just weird.
Right.
Okay. Zion is the first letter of Zayit. The second letter is a Yud. That's line 10. Okay. Work, throw, or worship. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Okay, it's no longer on my screen, but it's number 22.
Oh, it actually drifted down. Hang on, let me scale it down some. Hang on one second. A little bit right there. Hold on one second. There we go. Okay.
Okay, so 7 is food, cut, weapon, or nourish. The yud, which is number 10, is work, throw, or worship.
Right.
Okay, and 22 is the tav, which is mark, sign, or signal. So olive means, let's see, throwing your weapon as a signal.
Right.
No, that's how they do this.
I know that's so
Pick
true.
one from column
Right.
A, food, cut, weapon, or nourish.
Right.
Pick one from column B, work, throw, or worship. Pick one from column C, which is mark, sign, or signal. And if you can put it together and you can use it to show their Jesus, well, that's what must be what it means.
Right.
Okay, well, zait, which means an olive, is, what did I say? Throwing your weapon to make a signal. What does that even mean?
Right.
Okay, it's so pick and choose. It's so crazy. There's just no other way to word it. It's just so crazy. It makes the whole thing so subjective. You know, knowledge and scholarship is supposed to be objective. It's like science. You can recreate the experiment to show that, you know, what your claim is true.
Right.
But this is so subjective. One person can say zait, which is olive, means worship your food with a signal. Make a sign to worship your food. Okay, and another person can come along and say whatever it is I said it the first time. Okay, let's see. Okay, so
Right.
it makes no sense whatsoever. It is so subjective. They're only going to pick and choose what fits with their already existing theology, and anybody can do that. Okay,
Right.
next thing I want you to look at. Okay, take a look at number 6, which is a vav.
Okay.
How many times have you run across this thing about Yud Hey Vav Hey,
Oh yeah.
the 4-letter name for God,
Oh my gosh.
and
Sickening.
it's based on the Vav being
of stake or a tent peg.
Okay, and where with add, secure, or hook do you get tent peg?
Exactly.
Okay, hook means curved. Okay, it curves. Okay,
Right.
it's a hook. We know what a hook looks like, right?
Right.
But a peg is flat. Okay, a peg is just
Yep.
like a nail.
Right.
Okay, but a hook is curved for a very specific reason. You're trying to, like a fish hook, grab a hold of something. Thank you. Okay, so you can see the vav. They'll say, oh, the vav looks like a peg. The peg, the vav is in the 4-letter name for God. So make up something from that. But it isn't peg. It's hook. To add or to secure something.
Right.
Okay. Where does this tent peg come in? Okay, back. Can you enlarge
Yes.
it a little bit?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Let's see. 1 second.
By the way, notice the picture that looks like a little Y on the very far left. Okay. Then it says tent peg. Then it says add, secure, or hook.
Right.
Okay. Well, a tent peg, if it doesn't have the little thing at the top,
Right.
then when things pull on it, okay, it'll just come straight off.
Right.
It has to have that little curve, that little hook. Okay, so pictograph, they say, is a tent peg. If that's what the tent peg is going to look like, I think it's going to loosen up.
Yeah.
If it's a little Y.
Right.
It is so subjective. They are so Tzaddik Vanderhoof. That's why Vav means and. It hooks words together. Well, you can interpret it that way. Okay. It also is a conjunction. It means but. I would do this, but I did that. So how do you get that meaning in the word and or hook or whatever? The whole thing is so subjective. The whole thing is so crazy. It makes no sense whatsoever. Okay, and with this kind of mentality, with this kind of approach, I guess I should say, you can come up with anything.
Can you do me a favor?
I can try.
Let's talk about the how the Messianics have spun Jesus and using the Yeshua, Yehoshua, Yahashua, Yahshua.
Yeah, everything they can come up with. And by the way, if I can come up with something that looks scholarly, it makes me better, smarter than you. And that's why some will say it's Yahshua, some will say it's Yahshua,
Right.
some will say it's Yeshua. Okay, some I've even seen Yehushu.
Right.
Okay. By the way, if it's Yehushu, that goes back to this Paleo stuff. I'm really being nice by calling it stuff. You know what I want to call it because that's what it is. And you can't have the O sound. You can only have an U sound if it's a Vav.
Right.
Okay. So his name was Yehoshua. You know, Joshua in the Bible, Yehoshua. It's just there's just no way to say how based on ignorance this is. Okay. And you know something? I would love to have a real live, honest to goodness linguist, okay, who's not trying to prove something like a Michael Brown tries to prove his Christianity for people. I wish there was a way to have a real live linguist take a look at everything I'm saying and take a look at the whole Paleo stuff.
I'll tell you what, there is we have within Tanakh Talk teacher, Gabriel Sanders, who is a Hebrew scholar and teacher.
Why doesn't he do something on this crap?
Well, we've never actually asked him to. So now that this is
actually, I have a long time ago with a private message or text message or no, it wasn't text. It was something, maybe email.
Well, we'll bring it back up again.
He may never even gotten it. Maybe I had the wrong email address.
Right.
I don't know.
Right. And so,
all right, but
there was a period of time where his email address was actually down for some reason because they were actually doing a transition. So, but he would be
maybe that's when I sent it to him. I don't know. But my point is that it just seems to be so subjective and so how really convenient that Bara can be understood as the son is the strong man of the house or whatever you said.
Right.
Okay. It's just.
Let me just for grins. I'm going to see if I can find that real fast. I'm going to play just a little brief, like a 30-second clip of it. That's how ridiculous it sounded. I was like, it's insane what people come up with. Let's see, Cindy Sue.
William, while you're talking, I'll tell you another one.
Go for it.
Jesus in the New Testament says, I am the Alpha and the Omega. Alpha is the first letter of the Greek alphabet. I am the Omega, which is the last letter. In Hebrew, it's an Aleph and a Tav.
Okay.
Aleph Tav is a word that is used to indicate that the next word is the object of the action. Okay?
Okay.
I read the book. Ani kore or karati et ha-sefer. So et shows that sefer is the object of the verb, which is to read, that the subject acted on. So I read the book. Ani karati, I read past tense. Et ha-sefer. Et shows that ha-sefer is the book that I read. Is that at least somewhat clear without writing it out?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So they'll say every time you see Aleph and Tav in the Hebrew Scriptures, that's their Jesus.
Right.
So if the verse is there, which it isn't, but if it said, I read the book, then you would have to translate it as, I read Jesus the book.
Right, true.
Because if et means Jesus, then you have to translate it as meaning Jesus. So every time you have et, it means Jesus, because I am the Omega, the Alpha and the Omega, I'm the Aleph and the Tav. It's just crazy.
So I'm going to scale this down just so people can see it.
Okay.
And I'm going to push play and see if this is the right spot. Hang on 1 second. Where'd it go? Oh, here we go. Ready? Let me turn the...
This is the guy. I bet he made this up himself.
Possibly so. Here we go. Let's see
because he's taking the work of other people and he's trying to self-aggrandize. He's trying to, I know better than everybody else, and I certainly know better than the rabbis and the Jews because they don't know any of this.
All right, so while I play this, don't talk because your volume is way louder than his. I'm going to have to
cut mine off.
I'm going to have to turn him.
Bring it back when you're done.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to turn, y'all are on the same channel, so I'm going to turn it like up
Okay, I won't talk. I'm just being totally quiet.
All right, here we go.
The Bible with a bait pointing to the sun. In fact, where have we seen...
Hang on.
And here's the other word we're going to do today is Elohim, the third word of the Bible. But looking at the Bara, we see it starts out Beit. And we've talked about Beit last time. Beit was the tent. Resh is the head. And Aleph. Aleph is that strength, the head of the ox. Aleph is the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet. It's the one that's silently out front. And then he begins the Bible with a Beit, pointing to the sun. In fact, where have we seen this before? This word Bara. Well, if you notice, it's the same first three letters as Bereshit. That's what we covered last time. He's repeating Beit Resh Aleph. Beit Resh.
Mine's totally silent. I can't hear any of it.
Oh, really?
Aleph,
Hang on.
God, Son of God.
Okay.
If you happen
All right,
to miss it in Bereshit,
I didn't know that. I would have actually put it up on a different screen. Hang on. Okay, so I forgot. We're going to have to plug this into the other screen. Everybody else has been able to see it. So now I know right where to pause it at. Hang on just a second. Let me pull it up on the other computer. And then I'm going to go into. So basically, he's getting into saying Bara and Bereshit uses the same first three letters, Beit Resh Aleph.
Right.
So that's Jesus.
Shin, I think, is water. Yud, I forgot already what we just talked about.
Yud
Maybe I have it over here.
Oh,
Where are
right
the
there.
glasses?
Okay, one, okay.
Arm and closed hand. Okay. And Tav was cross sticks. Mark signal.
Okay, bear with me. You'll be able to hear it in just a second
Okay,
once I pull
all
it
right,
back up
okay.
again. So I need to go to 2 minutes and 20 seconds, basically. 1 second, 2:20. We'll do 2:17. Pause it, and let me see if I can scrap it over. Let's get this
Resh
back.
Aleph.
Escape. We'll close this off here. Get you back on screen now that everybody can see you. And now, let's put it back here. While I actually pull up this other screen. It'll take me just a second here. We can go over some if we need to. I'm not worried about the time so much. So I need to do a remote desktop presenter right there. Add. There it is right there. But I need to pick a different screen. So give me 1 second. Actually, no, I don't. I can actually drag that over into the screen that's already functioning. And we can play it and you can hear it at the same time. So here we go. There's this. And I'm going to switch screens now. Okay, so now I've got here, and you should be able to hear this now. And now I can actually control your volume separately, so you can talk along the way, okay?
Okay.
All right.
we covered last time. He's repeating.
I'm going to back it up just a touch.
Well, if you notice, it's the same first three letters.
You can hear this, right?
As Bereshit.
Yes.
Good.
That's what we covered last time. He's repeating Beit Resh Aleph. Beit Resh, the head of the tent, that's sun. Aleph, God,
Did you
Son
hear
of
that?
God. If you happen to miss it
He
in
said
Bereshit,
that was the sun. The Resh, the head, is the sun. Really?
Right.
he repeats it in the second word. Created is Beit Resh Aleph, Son of God.
Isn't that just crazy?
By the way, it's also the first word, not the second word. The first word is Bereshit in the Hebrew Scriptures. Bara is the second word.
Right.
So, I think we know what this book is about. It's about the Son of God.
Wow. I mean, this is...
What does he say about the Shin, Yud, and Tav?
Okay, let's see what he says.
Which he says Tau.
It says in the Gospel of John, John 1:1, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And it said, all things came into being through him, and apart from him, nothing that came into being came into being. He's saying it right here. The word created is Son of God. He's letting you know that Jesus, the Son of God, is the creator. And all things were created by him, for him. In Colossians 1, it says, for by him all things were created, both in heaven, Hashemayim, and on earth, Haaretz. Visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions, rulers or authorities. All things have been created through him and for him. So, he's letting you know right here, Bara. the Son of God, created.
Tell me any point you want me to pause it.
Very clever.
Pause it.
Okay.
Okay, bara is a single word that we translate as create, usually, what's the word? Reserved only for God being that kind of creator or creating. Only God can bara. Everybody else, oseh, which also means to make.
Oh, yeah, right.
Okay, all right. But the word reshit, okay, which we translated as in the beginning, okay, the bet is not part of the root.
Right, that's a prefix.
It's a prefix.
Right.
So the actual first word here would be reshit,
right,
or rosh maybe, which means head or high point. Okay. The Rosh Hashanah doesn't mean the new year. It doesn't mean new. It means high point, because the rosh is the highest part of the body. Okay. And how do we know this? Because in Genesis, where it's talking about Jacob's ladder, it says Rosho Higia Hashamayma, that the rosh, not the head, but the high point of the ladder reached into the heavens. So we know Rosh means high point, not just head. Okay,
gotcha.
The high point. So ba is not part of the root. Reshit is resh, aleph, shin as the root. Bet is the prefix meaning with or in. It's just, you have no idea how this bothers the heck out of me, because it is just plain ignorant. Okay, keep going.
Okay.
Okay. So this is Bara. So far we have Bereshit, Bara. For those who missed the Bereshit, let's just review real quick. Bereshit. Beit Resh is son. Aleph is God, son of God. Shin. By the way, I was pronouncing this Sheen, but I'm finding out I was pronouncing, well, I'm not sure. I've heard it both ways, but since last time I filmed, Shin, I think, is the preferred pronunciation, and that's how we're going to pronounce it. So, the Son of God, Shin is teeth, destruction, devoured. The Son of God is destroyed. Yud, smallest letter, is a hand, your works, your handiworks. So, the Son of God is destroyed by his own hand, willingly. And Ta, its mark, your Ta, your T, Ta, you can hear it. It's a cross.
Oh, yeah. It's not Tammuz, or it's not, tutu for ballerina dancing. It's specifically a cross.
Mm-hmm. How convenient, by the way.
Right.
Represents the covenant, an agreement. You make an agreement, you put your X, you put your mark. So
it's not an X, it's a cross. An X is a T. This looks more like a T. An X is sideways. So again, whatever they can use, manipulate, spin, propagandize with, they're going to. And it doesn't matter if it's based on logic and truth. It's only if it's what they want it to be. And it's purely subjective.
He described that it was that he was destroyed by his own hand, but that wasn't the case according to Christianity. In fact, he actually pleaded that God would take the cup from him. He didn't want to do that.
Exactly.
So
very well put, very well said. Okay, not my will, but your will be done means their will wasn't even the same regarding the crucifixion.
Right.
So it just
that's
it is
the symbol
so
for a
ignorant.
Right.
Covenant. That's interesting. That's huge.
See, we don't have the time because it's already getting late. But we could take all the meanings of Bet, Resh, Aleph, Shin, Yod, Tav that he's got here, and that we find on the
and we come up with about 10 different messages from it.
100 different messages.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
That would make more sense than what he just said.
Who's to say which one is right or wrong?
Right.
And we could show stuff that makes absolutely no sense, but is just as clear as what he's doing.
Actually, it would be more clear because he's actually having to twist these just to make it sound intelligible.
Right.
So,
and you notice that Aleph no longer meant head. It all of a sudden meant God.
Right.
Well, head is not God.
Right.
Okay. It's just they're taking meanings that have no relationship one to the other and using both meanings as the meaning of a specific.
The thing that
hieroglyph,
bugged me, I think, the most
whatever.
was the thing that really had me going the most was where he shows the Resh being with the head, which Rosh would be head, right? But he's giving it the son, not the father. I mean, who in their right mind would ever even conjure something stupid like that?
And the reason is
that makes no sense in any culture.
To be the son of the father,
right?
By the way, they do the same thing in where is it?
Wow.
Sar Shalom.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You can read this.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to play it. I was trying to move it.
That doesn't matter. It's what is that? Isaiah, isn't it Isaiah 9? I'll have to look. I can't remember all of a sudden. They do the same thing. Where they translate ruler, Sar, they translate it as prince.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
Sar Shalom, Prince of Peace, as opposed to ruler of peace, because they're trying to create the image of the son of the king, and if the king is God, they're trying to make it equate to Jesus.
Right.
Say 9. Right, it's 9:6. Unto us a child born, a son is given, government shall be on his shoulders, his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Prince of Peace is Sar Shalom, which means ruler of peace,
right.
ruler of peace,
right.
And they make it Prince of Peace because they, like he's doing with Son being Jesus, okay, to give the image of Son of the King. So instead of ruler, which could be an adult, not anybody's son, or in the in the meaning of the word, but they're trying to make it prince, so you'll get the image of a son of a king, like Jesus is the son of God.
Right.
They're doing the same thing here. He's doing the same thing here. God, it's amazing to me, and the people will fall for this because it feeds their own.
That's the most dynamic, crazy part of all, is that people are actually buying into this crap.
They have to, because their faith is so weak. There's no depth and no strength to their faith that they need crap like this, a constant flow to keep their faith going, because their faith is so weak. They need shtuyot. They need, I don't know how to be, garbage, okay, to keep feeding that faith, because otherwise their faith would drop off to nothing. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay. Pathetic.
So this one video has almost 150,000 views just on this one video, and that's how many people are buying into this guy who doesn't even know Hebrew that well. Either that or he knows it and he's twisting the hell out of it.
All you have to know is the
that's insane.
Thing that you showed earlier that we were talking about the columns and everything. That's all you need. You can come up with your own stuff. And that's what they do to give themselves, I'm an expert in this because I know what I'm, it is on so many levels. It is so, no other word for it. It's just based on such ignorance that it just never ceases to amaze me.
Totally agreed. Man. Insane. So let's go back.
Why is their faith so weak that they need a constant flow of this stuff, and their well becomes empty so often that they have to go to the well that's always full and take the water, life-giving waters from it, and the well they go to that's always full is Jewish stuff, Hebrew.
Right.
Okay? They keep having to go to the well that's always full, which is Judaism, and Torah,
yeah, right. Oh, speaking of that, I don't want to go too far without covering this before we close out, but I want you to discuss a little bit. Tell us a little bit more about the spelling of Yeshua and the choosing of how they pronounce it. What's your thoughts on that?
First of all, they want to make it look like God is in the name. So instead of saying Yeshua, they say Yahshua, because Yah, like hallelujah,
right?
Praise God. Yah is the God part, so they're making it Yahshua, Yahshua.
Right.
Because they want to put it is it's too bad we can't have a blackboard and put this up on a
Well, actually I could do that on my side. You could just tell me what to write, but I don't have a blackboard in the room, but next time we could.
Well, yeah, it's very complicated, but suffice it to say, okay, here's one thing, okay? What did Jesus speak?
Well,
most likely Jesus spoke Aramaic.
Right.
Okay. lingua franca, the daily language, the common folk language was Aramaic. People in the Mideast, okay, in the Eastern Mideast, in the Eastern Mediterranean, namely, the Promised Land, had to know multiple languages because of all the people flowing through. What's it called? Fertile Crescent stuff, okay?
Right.
If you wanted to go from what we call Italy to Egypt, you wouldn't cross the ocean, too dangerous. You would go around the Horn. So you had to know multiple languages. It's most likely that all the people, okay, knew combinations of Greek, Hebrew, Aramaic. Maybe throw in some Latin, maybe.
Right.
Okay? But the language, the spoken language in the home was probably Aramaic. Jesus was using Aramaic when he would speak, most likely. Okay, personal opinion, I think many scholars, not all, but many would agree with me. Okay, in the Aramaic of the day, and again, I wish we could put this up on the screen, but if you take a look at the word Yeshua, okay, it ends with an ayin. An ayin is a deep-throated guttural, I think they call it a guttural aspirant. I don't remember my vocabulary anymore. Okay, but it's deep throat guttural. Lion. I can't even do it. Okay, you talk to an Israeli, you talk to someone who speaks Arabic, they can do it without even thinking. In the Aramaic of 2,000 years ago, they dropped the sound. They wouldn't say Yeshua, they'd have said Yeshu.
Okay.
In spelling it, it would still be there, but it would not be pronounced.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Be a silent letter.
It would become a silent letter.
Right.
Think about the word, and this is not a great example, but think of the word yellow.
Right.
Okay, Yello is still pronounced yellow. Yellow is still pronounced yellow.
Like
But you don't say
Jello.
yellow. You don't say, I'm going to use my crayon that's yellow.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, so the W becomes like silent.
You could say like the word Jello, for example. There's no W in Jello. But you stay at the same way.
But even if you put a W on the end, you'd still say Jello.
Yeah,
why?
Right.
Because the W of the W is the end sound of the O.
Right.
Okay, so your mouth is in the position of the W sound, W, at the end of saying O, W. It's already there. So you don't say yellow or, you say yellow.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
Okay, the ayin when spelled, the ayin would be there. But in pronunciation, I don't believe Jesus ever heard himself called Yeshua. He'd have heard the word Yeshu. Oh, and by the way, it's a tseri under the yud, not a shva. It's Yeshua if it's anything.
Okay.
Okay, and if you're going to take a look at the grammar, it'd be Yeshua, not Yeshua, but Yeshua.
Right.
I can teach almost anything, William. I really can. Okay, maybe not very well, some better than others. But the one thing I can never teach well is grammar, Hebrew grammar.
Right.
Okay, I had 3 semesters of nothing but biblical grammar in college. 3 semesters, nothing but biblical Hebrew grammar. Okay, but it's very difficult for me to explain. I don't know why.
Right.
Okay, but the Hebrew, I'm sorry, the Aramaic of Jesus's day, he probably never heard the word Yeshua. He probably said, Yeshu, come here, come home, Right. By the way, much later, the rabbis took the pronunciation of the word Yeshu, and they made up a thing with it, mainly to razz Jesus. Yimach Shemo what's the word? Yimach Shemo I'm forgetting. Bezichro, may his name and memory be wiped out. But that's a play on his name that comes later after his name. You have to have the name first. You have the name William before you get the name Bill.
Right.
Okay, you have to have the name William before you get a nickname. Okay, so again, I don't feel like I'm being clear with this.
No, it makes sense. I mean, there has to be a start before you can add the modification.
Right, or the interpretation.
Right.
So you start out with Yeshu, and then, isn't this funny and clever?
Right.
So, but that's not, all right. Oh, by the way, I'd love to know, and I don't know because I never studied it, but I'd love to know in English literature how long ago it has been since the Messianic Jews for Jesus, Hebrew Christians, whatever they want to call themselves this week, okay, how long they've been using the word Yeshua.
Oh, yeah, right.
Like, does it go back to the 1600s? Okay, does it go back to Shakespearean time, where the Christianity of England in the 1600s in Shakespeare's day, were they calling Jesus Yeshua then? I really don't believe so. I really think it was a modern invention of the Hebrew Christians, Jews for Jesus, Messianic Jews, whatever you want to call them this week.
And the Messianics have only been around for not even a couple hundred years, more like, 80 years or something like that, right?
Well, they're going to try to show there were Jews who believed in Jesus in Jesus' day, therefore we're the direct descendants. Well, no, you're not.
Right.
Okay. And the increasing numbers of Messianic quote-unquote Jews were never Jews, don't have ancestors who were Jewish, or they may have discovered after they were becoming Messianic quote-unquote Jews that they had Jewish ancestry, which helps validate the fact that they think they're still Jewish.
Right.
But the increasing majority, it's already a majority, it's always been a majority, had no ancestors that were Jewish. They themselves were never Jewish. And they're just switching kinds of Christianity from Southern Baptist Assemblies of God, whatever, to a Messianic form of Christianity, which they title as Messianic Judaism. So, at any rate, okay. Yep.
Right.
All right. So I don't know what else to say about this whole paleo business.
Right.
Like I said, if they do it with Hebrew to show their superiority and that how they know better than all other Jews and they know better than the rabbis, then why aren't they doing the same thing with English? Shouldn't they be speaking at least Shakespearean, if not even more ancient pronunciation?
Right.
All right.
Yep. That is truly a mystery for sure. Well, I was glad we were able to pull part of that video into the show because I really want people to be able to see how ridiculous that really sounded. And interestingly enough, the 150,000 viewers that are watching this thing, they were probably like, "Oh my gosh, how holy and how wonderful!"
Right, and they vote.
Wow,
it's
insane.
Again, why is their faith so weak that they have to come to Judaism and Jewish stuff to strengthen their faith?
Right, very true, very true. Yes, sir. All right, Rabbi. Well, it's been a very meaty show, all based on Paleo and the ancient Hebrews. That's really good information.
For some people, that was very boring, I'm sure.
I doubt that very seriously.
No, I don't.
If we could share this video link on that video and see how many of those people want to watch it.
Can I say something which is a horrible thing to say?
Sure.
Okay. Well, first of all, not a horrible thing, but it can't be helped. I won't be on next week.
Oh no, that is horrible. What's wrong with you?
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll be on vacation. I'll be out of town.
Oh, you're coming here, right?
Not that Monday. Who knows? Maybe another Monday in the month of July, but we'll see.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Okay. We'll see.
Okay.
All right. But the other thing is that donate, please, to William Hall. Go to TanakTalk.com and hit the donate button. He can't be on the air without your donations. He needs to pay for all the equipment he's collected and the mortgage on the building he's put up. Okay, that's one thing. Second of all,
thank you, Rabbi.
You're welcome. Second of all, which is terrible, but if we're talking about Hebrew, then let me remind you that if you want to learn how to read, pronounce the vowels and consonants the real way in Hebrew instead of the Paleo way, go to what's it called? Wait a minute.
I'll see if I can pull it up for you.
What is it?
I'll see if it, or what are you wanting me to look up something for you?
I can't remember the where you donate money.
Oh, PayPal? No. What are you talking
No,
about?
not PayPal. It's the other one.
Oh, Patreon.
I can never remember.
Yeah, Patreon.
Patreon.
Oh, yeah,
Patreon.com
yeah, for your Hebrew
/
class.
Rabbi Stuart Federow.
Oh, yeah.
Patreon.com / Rabbi Stuart Federow. Stuart is Stuart.
That's good.
So it's patreon.com / Rabbi Stuart Stuart Federow Federow. And you can, for $10 a month, watch it 100 times if you want. So it's really $10, but it's $10 a month. Sorry about it. And you can learn how to pronounce the Hebrew consonants. It's called Learn How to Read Hebrew in 3 Hours. I do it every year for Yom Limud here in Houston. So they videotaped it last year. I videotaped it last year. And now you can watch it and go to patreon.com / Rabbi Stuart Federow. And
very cool.
Just thought you'd like to know.
And just for context purposes for the people viewing this show, we've got I think around 6,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Cool.
If we even had $5 a month from each of those people's, Tanakh Talk could be a full-time thing. Just put in perspective on that. The thing about it is some people do donate $5 a month, and that's very helpful. I think there's about 8 or 10 people, maybe 15. But idealistically, if everybody who was subscribing, who watched this all the time and was really finding this useful, would do that, that would make Tanakh Talk a more fruitful venue for people. Like my goal would be like Chabad.org or something like that. They've got a really amazing website, which I highly recommend to any of the viewers out there, especially people who want to find a good, clean source of Torah learning audio files and even video lectures. Is really, really nice. So something for you guys to keep in mind. So anyway, okay. Well, Rabbi, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up for tonight then, and thank you for your time. I want to say thank you again for all the viewers out there and all the people who are contributing to help Tanakh Talk stay afloat. I really appreciate that. And I look forward to seeing you guys all on shows to come. So, Rabbi, it's been a great night. I really appreciate your time and your dedication.
Hey, I love doing this. Although tonight it was a lot less back and forth between you and me, but
that's okay. I mean, hey, it's about the content. Whatever we have to do to make the content,
I don't know. I like talking back and forth.
That's kind of how I see it. All right, love you, Rob. Talk to you soon. Shalom, everybody. Shalom. There's that finger dance. Oh yeah. Shalom. Bye-bye.
I hear the music. It makes me dance.
חשוב והכרחי להיות ביחד. איפוק זו העוצמה, ויתור זו הגדולה, השאיפה והכמיהה. אני אתה אתם תמיד כולם ביחד. חשוב מכל חשוב והכרחי להיות ביחד.